All right, so this is right where we picked up off of our last video. And so for this one, the first step that I want to do is I want to change the radical sign symbols, and I want to use the exponents for this one. So I'm going to have 256 to the 1/4, x to the 10/4, and y to the 12/4. 256 to the 1/4 is going to be 4, again because 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64, times 4 is 256. Simplifying x to the 10/4 would be x to the 5/2, and simplifying y to the 12/4 simplifies to y to the 3rd. And so our final answer is going to be 4 x. Oh, and sorry, and then when you go back and you do that, there's one more step. I had it written down and I forgot to do that step. Then what I'm going to have is, because 5/2 is the same thing as like 2 1/2, so my final answer is going to be 4x squared, because remember that's x 2 1/2. And then I'm going to have y to the 3rd. And then I'm going to have the square root of x because I have that 2 1/2. 5 over 2 is the same thing as 2 1/2. And so that's not giving you all the steps to show you. I thought it might work all the way through that. So hopefully you understood that through my instructions. The next problem is going to be the 6th root of 27x to the 3rd, y to the 6th. And I'm trying to see if they gave me this sample problem to walk through earlier. They did not. So we'll just kind of walk through this one together. So for this particular problem, again, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to rewrite this using my fractional exponents. So I'm going to have 27 to the 1/6. I'm going to have x to the 3rd. I'm going to have to the 3/6. And I'm going to have y to the 6/6. Okay. 27 is the same thing as 3 to the 3rd. So I'm going to have 3 to the 3rd to the 1/6. X to the 1/2, because 3/6 simplified is 1/2. Y to the 1st, again because 6 over 6 simplifies to 1. 3 to the 3rd to the 1/6 gives me the same thing as 3 to the 3/6, or 3 to the 1/2. Then I still have x to the 1/2, and I still have y to the 1. So to put it back with the radical, I'm going to have my y on the outside, and then under my radical sign, I'm going to have 3x, because 3 to the 1/2, x to the 1/2 is the same thing as the square root of 3 and x. So my answer would look like this. Y, radical sign, 3x. And we'll see if that one, nope, they don't go step by step for that one either. So the next problem that they have here is negative 3x over, and again, radical sign, 10x minus 1. I want to get rid of my radical sign, so I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 10x minus 1. So that, the square root, of 10x minus 1. So that gives me, for my new denominator, is just 10x minus 1. And my numerator is going to be 3x, and then radical sign, 10x minus 1. So that should look like negative 3x, radical sign, 10x minus 1, and that's going to be over 10x minus 1. So I'm just multiplying the top and the bottom by the square root of 10x minus 1. The next problem, hopefully it shows up here for us. All right, so the next problem is going to be 12x squared over the square root of x minus 5. So this is just like the last one. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of x minus 5. So I'd get 12x squared times the square root of x minus 5. And on the bottom, the two square root symbols cancel out, so I just have x minus 5. So what that's going to look like is 12x squared radical x minus 5. Whoops. Make sure I have those in the right spots there. Radical x minus 5, and that's going to be over x minus 5. Somehow that, I don't know what I clicked on there. Let's try that again. I have 12x squared radical x minus 5 over x minus 5. So that just shows you how to do a couple of those problems. I hope it was helpful to you. If you have questions after this, let me know. I know there's a lot of steps and a lot of things going on in this one, so it can be confusing, but it's really important to write down each step and do each problem step by step. In fact, I'd highly recommend watching this video again, and if you didn't stop and write down the steps as I was saying them so you can visualize them, I think that you should probably go back and do that, because it's going to be really helpful if you can hear the steps and see the steps at the same time. I know that was kind of difficult to do in this one, but if it's possible, that's highly what I suggested that you would do. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will talk to you again for sure next week. All right, thanks, Izzy.